Hi everyone. Today we'll explore different theories of learning to understand how our minds work. Let's get started. Learning is a dynamic process that leads to change, whether in knowledge, skills, attitudes, or behavior. It's not just about memorizing facts, but about making connections, refining understanding, and applying what we know in new ways. Learning happens through experience, reflection, and interaction with others. Learning is a deeply personal and active process of making sense of the world around us. It's not just about absorbing information, but about constructing meaning based on experiences, interactions, and reflections. Active learning doesn't always happen deliberately. Sometimes we learn through observation, trial and error, or unexpected experiences. Importantly, learning individually does not mean learning in isolation. Even when we engage in self-directed study, our understanding is shaped by prior knowledge, cultural influences, and interactions with others. Collaboration, discussion, and social experiences play a crucial role in reinforcing and expanding our knowledge. Learning is dynamic, constantly evolving as we connect new ideas with what we already know. As we explore different learning theories, think about how each one shapes the way we teach and learn, and how they influence real-world education. So why should future educators like yourself learn about learning theories? Well, imagine trying to teach without understanding how students actually learn. It would be like trying to cook without knowing how the ingredients work together. So why do you think understanding learning theories is important for teaching? Imagine you're trying to learn how to ride a bike. Do you learn best by watching someone else do it? By having someone guide you step by step, or by jumping on and figuring it out through trial and error? That's where learning theories come in. Learning theories are like different recipes for how we learn best. They explain why we learn the way we do and how teachers can make learning more effective. Some theories focus on practice and repetition, like riding a bicycle. Others emphasize thinking and problem solving, like solving a puzzle. And some believe that learning happens best through experiences and collaboration because two brains are better than one. So whether you're memorizing, reasoning, or discovering, there's a learning theory behind it. Let's dive in and see which ones resonate with you. Learning theories come in four broad perspectives. Each perspective sees learning in a different way, but together they help us understand how we acquire knowledge, think, and grow. Behavioral psychology suggests that all behaviors are learned through interaction with the environment. Through conditioning, people develop habits, skills, and responses that shape their actions. Ever wondered why we behave the way we do? Why do we stop at a red light or raise our hand in class? According to behaviorism, all our actions are learned through interaction with the environment. Behaviorists believe that when we are born, our mind is like a blank slate, a tabula rasa. Everything we do is shaped by experience, by what we see, hear, and feel around us. So in behaviorism, learning is all about observable behavior. Well, how about thoughts and emotions? Behaviorists say that they don't count because we can't measure them. Behavior is learned, predictable, and shaped by the environment. Therefore, the change in behavior equals learning. Think about your own habits. How many of them were shaped by rewards, consequences, or repeated experiences? That's behaviorism in action. There are two main ways in which we learn: classical and operant conditioning. In classical conditioning, we learn by association. For example, imagine every time you receive a text message, your phone makes a ding sound. At first, the sound means nothing to you, but over time, you associate it with getting a message from a friend. Now, even if you hear the same ding from someone else's phone, or even from a random sound effect, you instinctively check your own phone even if no message has arrived. In operant conditioning, learning happens through rewards and consequences. Imagine a student getting a gold star for good behavior. This positive reinforcement increases the chance of them repeating it. Or stimulus. Imagine you walk into the kitchen and smell freshly baked cookies. The delicious aroma fills the air. That's the stimulus. Anything that causes you to react. Then your mouth starts watering and you immediately grab a cookie to eat. That's a response. The cookie is so good, your brain loves it, and now every time you smell cookies, you rush to grab one. That's reinforcement. So conditioning shapes our behaviors in many ways. Physical conditioning, for example, improves performance, prevents injuries, and enhances recovery. Mental conditioning involves practices like mindfulness and meditation to build focus and resilience. Social conditioning influences our beliefs and behaviors. Our self-image, for example, is shaped by beauty standards. Gender roles can teach expectations like boys don't cry, and mental health stigma discourages open discussions. Even the media uses classical conditioning to link emotions like fear and anger to certain topics, shaping public perception. This table highlights the 4 key types of reinforcement used in behavior shaping. Positive reinforcement encourages desirable behaviors by adding rewards, while negative reinforcement strengthens behavior by removing an unpleasant stimulus. On the other hand, positive punishment introduces an unfavorable consequence to reduce undesirable actions, and negative punishment takes away something valued to discourage certain behaviors. Understanding these principles helps in effectively guiding behavior in educational, workplace, and everyday settings. Here are some key sub-theories within behaviorism. Take some time to explore them to gain a deeper understanding of how behavior is learned and shaped by different forms of conditioning. This slide illustrates behaviorist approaches in learning. It highlights reward systems, gamification, and quiz-based learning like Kahoot and quizzes. These methods use reinforcement such as rewards and competition to encourage desired behaviors and engagement in learning. Behaviorist teaching strategies focus on repetition, reinforcement, and structured learning to shape student behavior and skills. Drill and practice strengthen mental connections and improve fluency, while mental computation builds automaticity and speed. A structured curriculum ensures concepts remain distinct, preventing misconceptions. Desired behaviors are reinforced, while undesired ones are discouraged through punishment. Standardized testing follows a process-product approach to measure learning outcomes, and games use stimulus response patterns and rewards to boost motivation and engagement. This is the behaviorist model. The behaviorist model explains learning as a direct relationship between stimulus and response. According to this model, the behavior is shaped by environmental stimuli, while the mind, often referred to as the black box, is not studied because it cannot be directly observed. Behaviorists focus on measurable actions, believing that conditioning influences how we respond to different stimuli. This approach forms the foundation for reinforcement techniques in education and behavioral management. Next, cognitive psychology or cognitivism. Imagine your brain as a supercomputer, constantly processing, storing, and retrieving information. But here's the catch. You can't actually see it working. Cognitive psychology dives into how we make sense of what we learn, even though these mental processes are hidden beneath the surface. It's like trying to understand how a magician pulls off a trick. You know something is happening, but figuring out how is the real challenge. Cognitivism shifts the focus from external behavior to the internal processes of the mind, exploring how we receive, store, and retrieve information, much like a computer. This theory highlights the importance of mediational processes that occur between stimulus and response, such as perception, attention, and memory. Learning is seen as an active process where prior knowledge shapes how new information is understood and applied. By studying cognition, educators can design strategies that enhance critical thinking, problem solving, and meaningful learning experiences rather than just rote memorization. Cognitive psychology explains learning as an active mental process where information moves through three key stages: input, mediation, and output. First, a stimulus from the environment is received as input. Then, mediational processes such as memory, perception, attention, and problem solving, the work we put in to interpret and organize this information. Finally, the processed information leads to a behavioral response. Unlike behaviorism, which focuses solely on observable actions, cognitive psychology emphasizes how the mind actively processes and transforms information, shaping how we think, learn, and make decisions. Cognitive learning relies on key processes that shape how we interpret and store information. Information processing explains how new knowledge is encoded into memory, helping us recall facts like the color of an apple. Mental representations or schemas act as mental structures that help us organize concepts, such as forming an image of what a great vacation looks like. Prior knowledge plays a crucial role in learning as it provides a foundation for new information, like using what we already know about tropical climates to understand weather patterns. These cognitive processes help us make sense of the world and build deeper understanding. To deepen your understanding of the cognitive psychology, explore these concepts further. These images show key cognitive strategies, such as using visual representations, like charts and graphs, applying the scientific method for structured thinking, and using mind mapping to organize ideas. These techniques help learners make connections, improve memory, and enhance problem-solving skills. In a cognitivist classroom, learning focuses on how students process and present ideas through thinking and communication using language, symbols, drawings, and concrete objects. Tools like number blocks, fraction tiles, and 3D models help build strong mental structures. Teachers guide students to connect new concepts to prior knowledge, fostering logical reasoning, mental computation, and problem solving. By incorporating higher order thinking questions, students develop deeper understanding and critical thinking skills, preparing them to apply knowledge in meaningful ways. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.